Over the last few years, I've been playing a lot of horror games. My first ever even live stream was me playing a horror game.
Why did it break? Why is it like this? I'm not okay.
So over the last 5 years, I have played all of these horror games, and me and my chat put them on a tier list. And during that, I talked why some of these games got a low tier and why some of them got a really high tier. But today, I'm here to talk about what separates the worst horror games I've ever played, and hell, regret even installing, to some of the best horror games I've ever played. Starting with what makes these games awful, there's no better example than Poppy's Playtime. I remember playing Chapter 1 when it came out, and I was underwhelmed, but for research, I decided to replay it, and I agree with my past self. Chapter 1 had very little to offer. The puzzles were very easy, and the chasing was the most scary part of the game. Hearing Poppy climb behind you while you run through this maze area, panicking at each turn, trying to figure out how to get out, but once you get caught, that's it. I'm more scared of repeating the maze overall. I expected so much more from a game who produces plushies for $38 or backpacks that are $55, which all doesn't include even shipping. The game suffers from being way too short and honestly over expectations. The jump scares aren't even scary, and it's more playing on the fear of you losing progress and having to repeat it. And maybe I am selling the game a little bit short. I don't think there was a lot to offer in Chapter 1. But games that make me redo everything once I'm caught are just incredibly frustrating. And one of the most popular games that does this is Five Nights at Freddy's. And wait, before you crucify me, hear me out. This game starts scary. The atmosphere is amazing on night 1. Hearing small noises around you, like Chica messing around in the kitchen, or hearing steps outside your door. And you get these cameras to look around the whole office, and you see Bonnie slowly approaching your door, not knowing what's gonna happen when you get caught. But after you get caught, or night 1, it's no longer scary. All atmosphere goes out the window. It gets a little more difficult with Foxy being introduced, but that's it. It becomes a game of trying to complete all 5 nights without trying to repeat a night, which isn't too shocking because they follow the same concept of don't get caught so you don't lose progress you make. Other games have followed the exact same premise. It's like Garden of Banban. Oh. Get him. Wow, Drone, you fucked them up. Or even Amanda the Adventurer. But the issue is, the puzzles in these games are very simple. The jump scares aren't built up enough, and all it has is making you scared of losing progress. The game that does this best is Baldies Basics, which, let me tell you, is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played. You go around the school doing very simple, pun intended, math questions. Then, in each notebook, there will be a very impossible question that will make Baldi mad. The more questions you get wrong, the faster Baldi gets. This game is incredibly frustrating, since when Baldi gets you, you have to restart. There's no fear from the jump scare. All you do is just redo all the work you just did. That's not fun, and sometimes it's not even your fault getting caught. You bitch! There's extra characters around that can slow you down or help you, but most of the time, it's just a game of RNG. At the end of the day, all of these horror games follow the same rule. You restart all your hard work once you die. Not a lot of build-up, just a loud jump scare and you restart. But it doesn't need to be that way. Maybe horror games could be more fun with friends, right? This is a category of horror games where you run around with friends trying to complete a different task. And content warning, you're trying to get a video with the most views. Or in Repo, you're trying to complete all points of extraction.
You blew me away!
Hell, even in Repo Company, you're just trying to raise enough money in 3 days for the company. You alright? And usually, they're all in good fun. Goofing off with friends until you can't complete the goal anymore, and you restart. And there is one issue with all of these games. There's not a lot of horror involved. But there is one game that does horror right. And that is Lethal Company. In Lethal, you're goofing off with friends in the ship, making little fun bits. And then you enter the building all together and somehow you get separated. And now you're alone. You hear noises around you, trying to figure out if you should run or try to get back to the ship. And then once you do run into something, you panic and sprint away from it and go into the building even further sometimes. And now you're lost. You have no clue how to get back. And if you do eventually find your way out, you're still not safe. There's things outside of the building who are ready to hunt you down. It does everything right. It has build-up, it has panic, and it doesn't rely on cheap jump scare horror. One of the best multiplayer games to ever exist. Hold up, let me go grab that real fast. No, I'm Not Human is one of the best horror games I've played in a very long time. It just does everything right from the start of the game. From how calm it feels during the day and how creepy the night is. You check outside your window to see your neighbor having fun with their kid on days, and other days you find people with suits looking around your house. You get told to let people in by your neighbor, and you don't know why until this guy shows up. He asks if you are alone, and from the start, you just kind of get a bad feeling about him. So you let people in, and the news shows you how to test them if they're a visitor. Starting with checking teeth to see if they are perfectly white, checking under people's fingernails to see if they're dirty, or checking people's eyes to see if they're bloodshot red. Hell, you even check their armpits if they have hair. Okay, that last one was a little bit weird, but you get the point. You feel on edge around every new person you let in, and if you let a visitor in, they will kill one of the people in your house. And now you have to look around who did it, and once you find them, then you super blast them back to the Shadow Realm. Which just makes a mess, but it's fine. Then you gotta keep the cycle going. You keep checking around your house on the people you let in, but then when you enter the restroom, the game gives you an option. You can check if you're a visitor. Which is completely insane, by the way. It makes you even doubt if you're human. This game is just perfect. It builds on your paranoia. It has a fear of what will happen if you don't have anyone in your house. And it might not be a traditional horror game, but the concept is so unique and overall perfect. Speaking of traditional horror games, let's talk about that tall twink called Slender Man. Yes, I'm talking about you. Slenderman games have always been around, but none as popular as Slender the Arrival. The game starts off stunning and perfect. You follow this road to this house, and when you walk to it, the weather gets gloomier and foggier. This bright sunny day turns dark. And once you enter the house, you start finding notes about what's happening. And who cares? There's a piano! You explore this entire house, but you figure out there's a room locked, and you need to recheck everything to find this key. Oh my god, what is happening? You go towards this open gate, and now the game actually starts. That was just the intro. So you look around, and you see this tall twink just staring at you, watching every move you do. You keep going, and you enter the woods, and now you have to find 8 pages.
I got like around like 6 or like, 7 pieces. What do you say, Slender? I'm sorry.
This game just holds a special place in my heart. From how pretty the game is, to the story, and it actually builds up the jump scares. It's an all-time classic, and I still recommend playing it, even if the game is over 10 years old. Well, I guess that's a good thought to end off my good games list. I haven't played too many. I want to actually go grab food right now, too. When speaking about good horror games, I of course have to bring up one of the best psychological horror games of all time, and that's Doki Doki Literature Club. And it's a little hard to recommend a game like this, in the sense of it has so many dark themes, so if you know what it's about, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, you might be asking me, how is this even a horror game? This video is about horror games. This looks just like fun. And it starts out fun. You start by going to school with this person named Sayori. And Sayori is this character who convinces you to join a club. And you wouldn't believe what club it's called. The Literature Club. How the fuck did you not know? Like, it's right in the goddamn title of the game. But this is where you meet characters like Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. And there's just something about Monika that creeps me out overall. Like, why are all the other characters looking off to the side, but not Monika? They're deadpan staring at me. It feels like they're staring past the game at me, sitting in my chair. But you start learning about these characters more, and you start to care about them. How nice and caring Sayori is, and how much of a weirdo and shy person Yuri is. You're so weird, Simple Chan. I'm gonna kill myself. Or how Natsuki is this like old decrepit chihuahua who yaps so goddamn much and would bite your hand if you put it near them. Just not Monika. You learn almost nothing about who they are. You just see their poems and they're kind of unsettling. But that's fine. This entire time, the game has, like, creepy undertones. Like, when you start writing poems on day one, they're kind words like fluffy, pure, fluffy, inferno. Pure, fluffy, inferno. And then the days go by more and more, and they progressively get darker. Like, depressing, or pain. And then, after the first half of the game, everything kind of changes. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know I gently opened the door. Sayori isn't there anymore, and I'm not going to explain what happens if you haven't played it. It's a huge spoiler, but it's really dark too. And if you know what happens, keep your mouth shut. The game starts to kind of glitch. The music distorts and stops randomly when people are talking. The text from the characters change, and their personalities completely change. You learn more about them and more about the serious things going on in their life. Monika starts to break the fourth wall more. Instead of talking to the character in game, they talk directly to you, the person playing the game. The game gets darker and darker, and it just breaks down. And Monika tries to pause and fix everything by getting rid of everything, and now you're alone with them. They even know if you're recording on OBS. It's creepy, it's terrifying, it's subtle, but has such a good and rich story behind it, and it's one of the best adaptations of psychological horror I've ever seen. The creepy undertones of text and music throughout it, you caring about the characters to watch them be completely broken and shattered in front of you. Oh, no, don't say. You can stop. Please stop looking at me. If you are more into dark horror games and dark, serious theming, this game's made for you. And warning, this game could be traumatizing. Go ahead and check it out. And I even recommend reading closely. The game even starts at the store page. Okay, no more surprises. I can finally, like, give my hands a break and wrap up this video with a cute little bow on top. Well, I did it! My first ever video was made! Woo! Oh my god, I can't believe I spent almost over a week working on my first ever project, but thank you all if you guys all watched all of it. Spent a lot of time editing and learning how to edit. It was my first, like, real attempt at, like, making my first real YouTube video. All the links to everyone that worked and helped on the video will be linked in the description. Thank you all for watching. If you guys haven't, please do subscribe. I want to work on more projects like this, and I hope to see you all here watching more of my stupid content in the future. And if you got nothing from this video, that's okay. You just watched an idiot play horror games and talk about it for almost 15 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes. I don't know. I will see after the full edit's done. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day and night, and I'll see y'all here whenever I upload next. Bye-bye!